Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside the gymnasium on the campus of Union High School for tonight's wrestling matchups between the visiting Broken Arrow Tigers and your Union wrestling team. Thanks for joining us here on the Union Sports Network alongside this guy, Steve Dunlap. I'm Jim Douthit, and Steve, let's get right into it. You know, Broken Arrow is a powerhouse in this sport of wrestling.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
So what have they been able to do that's made them just the kind of powerhouse that they are?
Well, it's just they have been tough for years. A lot of it's just tradition. The kids work hard. They do the year-round wrestling. They wrestle in the spring. They wrestle in the summer. And they have outstanding coaches. And, you know, they've got great support from the school and the community. And I don't see it ending for a long time. They got a real strong youth program that comes right on up through the junior high and high school. And Rodney Jones is the head coach there now. Is doing a fantastic job.
So let's talk about Union for a second. They showed some real grit. They're young. They showed some real grit last week. They come back and tie Ponca City only to lose in criteria, but that's got to be almost a win for Coach Jefferson and his coach.
Right. Coach Jefferson, he came here and he basically almost had to start all over again, junior high and high school. And he's just done a fantastic job. Him and his staff are working real hard. They also do the year-round wrestling and stuff. It's just they haven't been involved in it quite as long as some of the Broken Arrow wrestlers have been. And so we're getting better each year. I think Coach Jefferson is building a strong program from the base up, and we're real excited about what he's doing, and we're glad to have him.
And we are happy to have him coach Wright and the rest of the gang there.
Right.
So there you got it. It's BA, it's Union on the mat coming up next on the Union Sports Network. Thanks. And now, your Union wrestling team. Hey, Coach. National anthem first, and then those guys? Then they'll do the introductions. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the singing of our national anthem. Tonight, sung by the one, the only Coach Money.
Twilight
everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, now let's introduce our wrestlers for this evening. Wrestling at 106 from Broken Arrow, sophomore Riley Cooter. Wrestling at 113 from Broken Arrow, sophomore Caleb Collins. And for Union, sophomore Adam Lohman. Wrestling at 120 for Broken Arrow, a senior girls state champion, Allison Hines. And at 120 for Union, senior state qualifier, Jared Gilliam. At 126 for Broken Arrow, a senior, Casey Goss. For Union, freshman, Tanner Jarvis. Wrestling at 132 for Broken Arrow, junior, Jordan Colors. Wrestling at 138 for Broken Arrow, Andrew Lawless. And for Union, Jesse Tarango. At 145 for Broken Arrow, a senior, Braden Barnett. And for Union, senior, J.C. Lohman. At 152 for Broken Arrow, a three-time state placer, Jared Hill. And for Union, junior state qualifier, Noah Smith. At 160 for Broken Arrow, ladies and gentlemen, senior, Braden Anderson. And for Union, senior, Cameron Timmons. For Broken Arrow at 170, senior, Dayton Hill. For Union, junior, Jake Hyber and Gavin Kaler. At 182, for Broken Arrow, Ram Soto. At 195 for Broken Arrow, Eli Hines. And for Union, freshman Krishan Mayberry. At 220, a two-time champion for Broken Arrow, Emmanuel Skillings. And Union senior, Tristan Wolfer. And finally, at 285, Ellis Tomlin. And for Union, Malachi Clark. Your head coach for Broken Arrow is head coach Rodney Jones. And for Union, the one, the only, Danny Jefferson. Coach, here we go. Here we go.
Tell them we're not introducing the junior hire.
So here we go. Broken Arrow, Union. We got a little coin toss going on here.
Right.
Ended up being red, so I believe.
Well, we get our choice on whatever we picked, odd or even matches, to take top or bottom or defer in that first period deal, and also who to put their wrestler out first, which is not really a case here tonight. But sometimes if they have multiple guys, you're wanting to get different matchups.
Makes a lot of sense. So it was red, and I believe Union won it. So with Riley Cooter coming in, he doesn't get to wrestle anybody, so he automatically gets
gets 6 points
Got it. So winner in 106 for Broken Arrow, Riley Cooter. So we quickly go to 113, and Caleb Collins and Adam Lohman step in here, and so here we go. We're getting to wrestle. So automatically they're up 6-0. Is there any kind of, I know this is a chess match through and through. Is there any reason besides to not wrestle at a particular weight if you want to move up or move players or wrestlers around? How does that work for
sometimes if you weigh multiple guys in at a weight, you're trying to look for different matchups where you think you can win more matches. We weren't able to have a 106-pounder because of the social distancing on the COVID deal. So
there's a big takedown at 2 points quickly awarded to Collins.
Nice takedown right there. Both wrestlers are sophomores.
So experience might not really necessarily play into it as when you have a senior and a sophomore and that kind of thing against each other.
It's just according to how long they've wrestled, really. The longer they've wrestled, of course, the more experience they're going to have.
Sure.
And
makes a lot of sense, but we'll get an escape there.
Right, so it's 2-1 with 1 minute left right here.
Right.
So,
any change in strategy? This is early on. Are they still trying to feel each other out at this point?
Right. Now it seems like Collins is pretty good on his feet right here, so he gets another takedown, goes up 4-1. Lohman, as you can see, he's trying to work the hand control. He's trying to get up to his feet to try to get an escape and score a point.
Another point. But it seems like if you're controlling everything below the elbow, that's not a good day for any wrestler.
Right.
When you can control the hands and that kind of thing.
He's getting ready to maybe get some back points right here. And Lohman does a good job of fighting that off so far.
Still fighting it. If he can hang on for another 15
Collins,
seconds,
that's
a
the
big
referee's
deal.
Waving his hand there. He's counting the back points as his. If you hold him there 1 or 2 seconds, it's two.
There it
he
is.
Gets the fall there, so another 6 points. But if you can hold them on their back for 2 seconds, you get 2 points. 3 or more, you get the 3.
For Broken Arrow, winner at 113, sophomore Caleb Collins.
And here we have girls wrestling is getting started in Oklahoma. It's just getting bigger and bigger every year, and we're going to get to see one of the very best in Allison Hines and then Jared Gillum, who was also a state qualifier for Union last year. Hines is a girls state champion last year. She works out with the boys every day, so this is not unusual for her to wrestle a boy.
And I tell you what, Jared Gillum last week was one of those wrestlers that really kind of tried to set the momentum and set the pace for Union. He came out and wrestled really, really well after a 106 match that was over pretty quickly. So it'd be nice to see him kind of set the tone, if you will, for Union moving forward this evening.
Right, well, he got the first takedown. He's up 2-0, but Hines is up quick to her feet and either trying to get a reverse or a escape right here. So far, Gilliland on top.
She's working him pretty good, so she's trying to just basically get out and get the point.
Yeah, she's trying to get an escape. If she escapes, it's 1 point. If she gets a reverse, it's 2 points.
Now, at some point, if they don't move, the ref can obviously
call a stalemate.
Right,
yeah. If they're not in, neither wrestler can improve their position. He can stop it and restart them and get them in a better position right there.
Talk a little bit about being off the mat at this point. So everybody's feet's off the mat at this point.
Right.
Then is there a time when that goes on, even if you have one wrestler outside basically there?
There is, and and they're a little bit more lenient on the edge than they used to be. So if you start that takedown inside and then go off the mat, you can still score the points.
Hines really battling here for Broken Arrow. 30 seconds left in the first quarter here, and Gilliam doing a really good job trying to control this match.
Right,
and
so far he's been very tough on top.
At this point, he's just trying to get her over onto her
right.
back. So
he's wanting to get some back points.
Got it. He's going for it. What kind of move does he have going in here?
He was trying to go for a head in the side cradle right there, bring the body and lock the hands, but Hines really did a good job of countering that off, and no back points there, so it's still just 2-0. It's still a close
very,
match.
very close. The end of 1-2-0. Jared Gilliam on top. And she's going to.
And Hines, she takes the top position. So usually a wrestler will take down, but she must feel really comfortable in the top position here. And she'll be trying to work some pinholes. Good first move there by Gillen. He's going to try to, and he gets the escape, goes right back in for a takedown. Nice move right there.
And she's just trying to get off the mat at this point.
He's going to get him a takedown right there and go up 5-0.
5-0 there now. Again, off the mat enough. Now, at that point where she knows we've got her leg wrapped up like that, I jokingly said she's trying to get off the mat, but in all seriousness, she's probably trying to get out.
She wants to get a new start down here and get in a better position where she can maybe score. And looks like Gillen's going to cut her loose right there. So that's 1 point.
And he wants her on her feet so that he can take her.
He didn't really let her go enough
to reward the point.
He's still in the top position right here. He never really gave her the point. So
that's an interesting thing. So he doesn't have to get down in that position. He could just literally put his hand on her back.
And push her away.
And push her away.
And give her the escape and then try to get a 2-point takedown. Try to trade 1 point for 2 points.
She's hanging on now. This could be interesting if Gillen can't get out. He gets out now.
Finally, and he does a great job of shooting right back in there. Nice takedown, goes up. Now he's up 7-1. And that's why sometimes if you can get the takedown, you give them escape and then take them down because they only get 1 point for that escape.
I don't know any coach that wouldn't trade 1 point for 2 any day of the week.
That's right, absolutely.
No matter what we're talking about. But Hines is showing some big fight.
Trying to work a cradle right here.
And there it is.
He gets the pin.
Nice.
Nice match by Jared Gillum right there and makes the team score 12-6.
Yep. Winner in 120 for Union, Jared Gilliam. Next, it looks like we're going to have this Casey Goss, a senior, against a freshman here. And this is where experience is going to come into play for sure.
Well, looking at the grades, it certainly looks like Goss will have the experience here.
For Broken Arrow at 126, Casey Goss. And for Union, Tanner Jarvis.
And nice takedown there by Goss to go up 2-0.
This is going to be good experience
working
here.
That cradle.
He's working it hard. He's trying to escape right now. Jarvis in a lot of trouble. Coach, what are you doing here at this point?
Boy, you're just trying to keep that shoulder up and try to get your legs straightened out, try to break that grip. It's not easy to do, and Goss obviously is very good with this move.
So he's trying to do two things at one time. Right. Is break those hands and get that. There it is.
And there's the fall right there. And so Goss, very impressive with that win right there.
And that only took about 42 seconds.
Yeah. Winner
at 126 for Broken Arrow, Casey Goss.
Then Colors here, he'll get a forfeit.
Right. Winner at 132 for Broken Arrow, Jordan Colors. So we'll get right into the 138 weight class and go with Andrew Laws, the sophomore out of Broken Arrow, and Jesse Tarango, the freshman. So Jesse Tarango, I understand last week, football kid, new to the sport from my understanding, from what Coach McAfee told us, but works his tail off. Very, very athletic individual and great to coach.
Well, and just a freshman.
And just a freshman. Getting that in here.
So some of these freshmen, they're out here wrestling varsity competition. Maybe they'll come when they're that senior, by working hard throughout the spring and summer and getting that summer wrestling in. But you can just see some of the mat awareness of the Broken Arrow wrestlers. They've just been out there before. And they've got some guys out. I don't know how many they got out. I know 106-pound, they have Christian Forbes. Injured his foot last week in the Jinx tournament. He's one of the top wrestlers in the state. Of course, he wasn't in there tonight.
He's fighting hard.
He is fighting hard.
This kid showed absolutely no quit last week.
And that's a big part of it.
And we're going to stop it up here. We got 5-0 right now is what we show. We got a little problem with the clock, it looks like. We've got 1:05 remaining in the first period here. They've got 2 minutes remaining.
Yeah, they're going to go down to a minute.
They're going to take it down to a minute. So we're going to take it down to a minute. Andy Irwin, we appreciate that, even though it was 1:05. Obviously, a referee not used to a little bit of a broadcast, but he usually came over here and asked the experts.
Right.
But
Andy was right on it, wasn't he?
Andy was all over it.
Yes, he was.
Minute remaining here. It is 5-0 right now. Lawless on top of Tarango, but Tarango not showing any quit in him. He can survive this minute. You never know what can happen moving forward. Lawless working hard. Tarango got some good skills. So what is it that Broken Arrow does at the junior high level that gets them prepared better, if you will, than other schools around the state at the high school level?
Well, it starts to have a good youth program before they get there, and then they just have a lot of kids that have wrestled from 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and boy, when their time comes, they're prepared and they're ready. And
winner at 138 for Broken Arrow, Andrew Lawless.
They have outstanding coaches that are bringing them along, but we feel like we have outstanding coaches here at Union.
Of course.
They're building that same thing. It just takes some time. It takes a little bit of time.
At 145 for Broken Arrow, Braden Barnett. And for Union, senior J.C. Lohman. So Lohman, a senior here. A couple of seniors on each other right now.
Right.
So some good experience, we would assume. I know,
right.
Not a lot knowing about what Barnett's done in the past, but a couple of seniors going after each other.
Barnett's in on a good takedown there, but and good fight by Lohman. Lohman
trying the head, trying to reverse that.
Right. He tried to get a headlock there, and then good counter by Barnett, and Barnett gets the 2 points.
Now, when I hear coaches saying sweep, and I may misunderstood them, what are they talking about? What are they asking for?
Well, it could be if he's got his leg up, he's trying to sweep that other leg out from underneath him or take his arm out from underneath him. And here he is working this tight waist and then getting some back points right here.
Right. Another 2 points awarded. So it should be 4-0 now. Barnett on top.
Yeah, Barnett's up 4-0.
Lohman looked to try to get an escape out of that deal. If he can last another 30 seconds.
Right. If he can score right here at the end of the period, that might help get a little momentum going. But that tight waist again, Barnett's really working that. He's really tough with that move, and it's got him some more back points.
15 seconds or so. 2 more points awarded to Barnett on that. 6-0 now. Barnett on top of Lohman. And Lohman again just can't get out of the grasp
going
with
for
Barnett.
That cradle, and he's got it.
And there
and
it is, saved by
count.
the bell.
I think I said earlier 3. If you get a 5 count, that's when you get the 3 points.
Got it. Very good.
And that's what he got right there at the buzzer. And
he's up 9. But Barnett a little slow getting up. Feeling a little bit of cramp maybe in that left leg. Or maybe that's just good old gamemanship.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It might have been. These guys, some of them pull a lot of weight, you know, and they dehydrate, and sometimes they might cramp up, but looked like he shook it off pretty good.
Yeah.
Lohman doing
when
a
you're
good
younger,
job.
you can shake that kind of thing off.
Shake it off. It takes a little longer for us,
yes,
doesn't
sir,
it?
it does.
Hurts a little more.
Yes, it does. Absolutely. I want to thank you guys for joining us on the Union Sports Network alongside, our assistant athletic director, Steve Dunlap. I'm the one, the only Jim Douthit. And Steve, this is great. I appreciate you coming in and enjoying my second broadcast here of wrestling on the Union Sports Network. We'll talk a little basketball here in a few minutes if we get some time.
Well,
there's a point.
There's an escape by Barnett to go up 10-0. Well, last week you had the legendary Darren McAfee. You can't beat him.
Darren was wonderful to come in and walk me through what was first. A couple of people were joking with me. They said, "You asked more questions than any play-by-play guy we've ever talked to." And I said, "Well, I was learning as well." So 10-0 there. Barnett on top. Just under a minute remaining now, and at this point, when you're getting kind of, for lack of a better term, thrown all over the mat, what's a wrestler in Lohman? What's he looking to do?
He's doing pretty good right now. He's trying to slow things down, and he's trying to stay and not get in that bottom position because Barnett's really tough on top. He's good with that tight waist tilt. He got a good cradle earlier, so Lohman's just trying to kind of slow things down right here, and then maybe get a little bit of momentum going into that third period. So I think he's doing real good right here. Barnett with a nice shot right there, but good counter by Lohman. Lohman's got 10 seconds here. If he could score, it would sure help him going into that third period. But Barnett, now he's trying to come out the back right there, but he's not going to have enough time. So Lohman did a good job of slowing things down right there.
He looked over and getting a little help from a coach.
Yeah.
Little hand signals back and forth, and Coach Jones for Broken Arrow giving his seniors some pointers. So they get to both stand up in this case, and that's
right. He chose that, what they call neutral position. He gets his choice. He can either take top, bottom, defer, let the other guy pick, or he can pick neutral like he did right there.
Nice recovery there by Lohman as he looked like he went for a shot but then missed it and quickly bounced back up to his feet as to not stay on the mat for any length of time. Little head check there. There it is.
Headlock attempt. It looks like Barnett's going to be able to keep his base and stay out of that, but that was a good attempt right there.
Now Lohman looking to move on top, but couldn't get quite over on Barnett, but he's going to get out. 1 minute remaining now in the third.
Really,
Lohman
has come on.
Fight. He has. I agree.
He's come on strong.
Coach is just telling him exactly what he needs him to do.
That's right there. He's got to keep his hips up right there. And there's finally a stalemate. Neither wrestler was really improving the position, so they'll start them over.
With just 38 seconds now remaining.
This is where Lohman's got to get a good first move because Barnett's so tough on top.
He's trying to get out of that grasp. But really all Barnett has to do is hang on for 30 more seconds. There's a point. Lohman comes away with an escape point there, 12-1 now, and they're going to come off the mat. 21 more seconds.
There's a stalling, so we picked up another point, so it's 12-2.
Right. Lohman showing a little bit of fire coming out of that red hair underneath that cap of his. He's going for the takedown.
Well, he's
there.
trying.
He's trying
to the point where he's got to try something.
Right.
But Barnett's just going to look like he's going to stay right in there and win this match 12-2. Lohman really. He gets a takedown right here at the end, make it 12-4.
Yep. So it'll end up 12-4, and Lohman, pretty good little wrestling match for the way it started.
After the first period, it was real close, but Barnett was tough on top and got those back points and built that lead.
Winner at 145 for Broken Arrow, Braden Barnett.
Now this should be one of our best matches of the night right here. Noah Smith qualified for state last year. He's going to go Jared Hill. Jared Hill's a 3-time state placer and a finalist, one of the top wrestlers in the state, right along with Noah Smith.
Jared Hill. And for Union, junior Noah Smith.
Two outstanding wrestlers out here. Hill in on a takedown attempt. Good counter by Smith. Both these guys are going at it right off. Hill in on a single leg. Trips and gets the takedown to go up 2-0.
And way off the mat there. Quite a bit fighting in both these guys early on.
Yeah, this should be one of our best matches of the night. See that first move there? Got him an escape right there, so it's 2-1.
2-1 early on. Looks like a couple of guys that have gone after each other a few times because they sure know what each other seems to want to do.
Noah's really a hard worker. He's just getting better all the time. He's one of my favorite wrestlers to watch. There's several others on the team I like to watch as well. But here he is in on a takedown attempt. Hill trying to kick free, and he was able to do it. Now he's trying to use his head to come around behind. Smith doing a good job of countering.
Nice job there by Smith to kind of stay on top of it. It really looked like Hill was trying to come back, and he did.
And Hill gets the takedown to go up 4-1. See, Smith keeps coming up to his feet, which is a smart thing to do.
And now they're way off the mat,
right.
So they'll reset with 45 seconds here remaining in the first.
I can tell you, when you're on bottom, nothing wears you out more than being on bottom. You want to get up and get out of there quick.
But even if you're on bottom in this position, if he escapes, is he going to get an escape point?
Yeah, he could.
He can. Okay.
There's that tight waist that Broken Arrow is working so well. He's getting some back points. And he held him there for 5 seconds or more, so he picked up 3 points. Once he breaks that hold, then the referee gives 3. But Barnett worked that move well, and here's Hill working it well. They probably work out together, and that's why Barnett got good at it.
There you have it.
It's 7-1 right now.
About 5 seconds remaining here in the first. It will be it. Period. 7-1. Hill start on the bottom. Smith on top. And Smith quickly with the leg. He'll try to wrap him up and get him down.
And Hill with an escape, 8-1. Noah really needs a takedown right here to get himself back in the match. And Hill, so quick, gets 2 right there on the edge and goes up 10-1.
Pulls him off the mat, and I was wondering if at that point Noah was thinking he was far enough off that they wouldn't allow the takedown, but well, he got him and got the 2 points out of it. Great move there by Hill, but the counter by Smith. Try to hold him off. About a minute and a half remaining in the second. Hill on top, 10-1, as you can see. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. He's Steve Dunlap. I'm Jim Douthit.
I believe I saw a deal where Hill is committed to the Oklahoma Sooner wrestling team the other day, and so that shows the talent that he has. And here's Noah trying to do everything he can to stay off his back right here. And
trying, he's pushing hard. He rolls over.
Really a good job of fighting that off because that was pretty tight. And that's just like Noah, though. He never quits. He never stops, and that's what saved him right there.
Seems to be a runaway by Hill, but kind of what we saw earlier with Noah, or excuse me, with Noah getting in, or with Lehman getting there, Lohman getting in there, never quit and made it really interesting.
Sure. Here's Hill trying to work that cradle right there. And that would be what they call the technical fall. That'll score 5 points for BA once you get up 15 points.
That's what it is right there. Winner at 152 for Broken Arrow, senior Jarrett Hill. Coming up now, it looks like we got Braden Anderson, Cameron Timmons. At 160 for Broken Arrow, Braden Anderson. And for Union, Cameron Timmons.
Anderson in on that single leg right off the bat and gets the takedown.
Speed is one of those things that Broken Arrow is not lacking in at all.
They're quick, and a lot of that just comes with experience and confidence.
Escape there by Timmons.
And just that, all the matches they've wrestled over the years from being young to now. It's just prepared them for these matches, and they just feel right at home. There's a nice fireman's carry. Goes up 4-1. See, they're both seniors, but Anderson looks like he's had a lot more wrestling experience than Cameron.
Yep. Timmons fighting hard now.
Yeah, he is.
Right here in front of us, and he's showing some grit for sure. It's going through his head as far as what he's attempting to do at this point. Obviously, get out of the hole.
Right.
But is there a certain move he's looking to try to pull off?
You'd probably want to hit a move. We used to say hit a move off the mat and get a new start. You can't just crawl off the mat, so you got to hit a move. And we'd say instead of just sitting there, try to get to your base, hit a move, go off the mat, and get a new start. Try to get a start all over again.
And that's exactly what you saw in Timmons.
Right.
As they'll decide to both stand up to start with this. Looks like it favors Anderson in this case because he got that single leg, and he works that single leg again.
Right. Yeah, he's trading that, giving 1 for 2. Another take makes it
another
6-2.
6-2 now.
Trying to pull that arm under there and wrap that up, and he's also looking for a cradle out of that as well. Got 22 seconds left here
in the first, and Timmons showing some fight
Anderson's
for sure.
working hard here to try to get some back points, and Cameron's done a good job of fighting him off.
Anderson looks up at the clock real quick, and he off the mat, and that's the end right there. Timmons slow to get up.
Right, that was Cameron's choice. He deferred, and Broken Arrow took down. Anderson up 6-2.
Getting ready to start the second period. Top, and we're wrestling. Is there a reason to defer?
Yeah, he'll have the choice in the third period now. Anderson with an escape right there goes up 7-2. Now, if there's something could happen here, if Timmons could get a takedown, it's back to 7-4. Kind of gets himself back in the match. But Anderson's not easy to score on. He's in on another single leg takedown right here.
Boy, and he sure likes that move. I think we've seen that 3 or 4 times now.
Yeah, he's good with it.
No points awarded there.
No, good counter by Timmons.
Timmons is trying to wrap him up,
yeah,
it looks like at this point. Can't get that right leg over.
Cameron's trying to hang on right there, but Anderson's doing a good job of being patient right there, not getting in a hurry, and he's slowly getting Timmons in bad position right there. But Cameron did a great job of fighting that off. Now he's on his back right now.
Folks behind us cheering on Cameron, trying to get him up, get him going, and he is fighting hard.
He's giving a great effort out there. There's
9-2,
absolutely nothing wrong with his effort out there, and Anderson's got that inside leg hook trying to work some more back points.
Looks like that's what he was awarded with 2 more back points. And there's the end of the second. Again, good fight, and when you can live to see another quarter.
Oh, absolutely.
Period, if you will. Yeah,
it's showing a great effort out there because he could easily just said, "Hey, I can't win this match. This guy's going to pin me," and he has fought hard. Been very impressed with his effort.
11-2. We'll see if Anderson goes back for that single leg takedown that he's tried just about. Gosh, every time they've been on their feet, it seems like Anderson's tried to go with that move. There's Timmons. He's going to get him way off the mat.
Is a good attempt right there,
That's
though.
a great. So that call that a shoot, correct?
Right,
and then
trying to shoot it like a double leg takedown right there, and did a good job there. Anderson countered him off. Now here's that single leg by Anderson again. It's a very effective move for him.
If a wrestler had a move that he was known for, it seems like that's kind of his move.
Well, he's certainly good with it. Yep. Gets another takedown with it.
13-2
It's what's
now,
working
Anderson
for him tonight,
right,
isn't it?
That's for sure. That's for sure. He's loving that single leg and working it really well. He lets him go. Now, it looks like we got a headgear issue.
Right, yeah, it looks headgear's right in his Cameron's face.
Now, is that something the ref could stop?
He could. But
if they're going to continue
and he was.
Yep, and there it is. He's going to go get it checked out and get it fixed. Hey, folks, if you're here in the gymnasium, we'd like to turn your attention to the Burnco sign and the TTU sign. Just to our left, that's going to be where you guys can get some snacks if you wish. Right there, that young lady waving her hands. The concession stand's open. They got all kinds of good stuff. So go up there and see those fine folks and get yourself some chocolate. Chick-fil-A? Chick-fil-A tonight? No? Maybe? Nobody? Anyway, go see those folks up there. Double duty tonight, Steve, and I appreciate you doing that. You folks at home, this will give you a chance. You can run to the fridge real quick.
Right.
We could do that as well. Thanks, Andy Irwin, for talking to me while I'm trying to do my job. Appreciate it. You're the kid that talked in class, weren't you? Was Nick the one that talked in class all the time? Not in your class. Thanks for joining us here on the Union Sports Network alongside Steve Dunlap. I'm Jim Douthit. And got a second to talk a little basketball. Sapulpa comes to town next Tuesday.
Right.
We'll get to see the Chieftains here. Girls win another tournament, PC Invitational.
Right, big win there, big win.
And
very
that was
impressive
huge for them. And the boys lost in the consolation championship.
Right. And they're hoping they're playing Muskogee tonight, both girls and boys are trying to hopefully get back on track tonight.
Right the ship, if you will. And, you know, for the girls, Coach Redmond, I don't want to jinx them, but by golly, they are just dominating just about everybody they've played. Clausen was a great match game that we talked about.
Yeah, them and Bixby were really down to the wire games, but our girls played really hard, and they're just doing outstanding. And sure, they'll see that Bixby team again, and those will be some great games that people would want to see.
So back to wrestling here, 13-3 Anderson on top with about 6 seconds remaining here.
And Cameron fighting to hang on right there, and he did hang on.
And he did hang on, absolutely.
I like his effort.
Great effort there for sure.
And Anderson looked real good in a 13-3 win there.
Winner at 160 for Broken Arrow, senior Braden Anderson. Now Dayton Hill coming up at 170, and we'll see. Gavin Kaler gets the call here. At 170 for Broken Arrow, senior Dayton Hill. And for Union, senior Gavin Kaler.
Bill Kaler was a state qualifier last year, had an outstanding season in football, played linebacker. He didn't mind putting some hits on people. And, you know, he'd sometimes have that old wrestler mentality, almost tackle him like a wrestler would, but he had an outstanding year for us, and I know he's sure hoping to have another outstanding year in wrestling.
I know it seemed like every time we'd get to watch football, and our great public address announcer, Tyler Ashley, would either be saying Kayla, or on the stop, or Gavin. They mentioned those names quite a bit on defense, that's for sure.
Quite often.
Quite often, those two. Powerhouse and a great football team.
Nice
that we have.
Takedown there.
Takedown there.
Kaler with a nice takedown there.
Kaler fighting hard.
Was kind of hard fair. Looked like an inside trip type move, but it's a nice takedown right there and goes up 2-0.
He'll start on top here. He'll trade the one and hopefully try to get 2 points out of this. Little football stance there by Dayton Hill. It looks like Gavin was trying to lock up the head. Is that a move where you try to get that move right there? That's what I was thinking. You're going to sweep the leg and try to take him down when you can get him up around the head. And they're
well, he
way
was
off
trying
the
to
mat
throw
there.
right there.
Right. Right.
Went off the mat.
Similar to what we saw. We got about 24 seconds here remaining in the first. 2-1. Kaler on top of Hill.
He's trying what we used to call a lateral drop. It takes real timing when that guy pushes in to use his momentum. But if you can hit it, it can be a big move.
Wrapping it up, 6-5, 4-3 seconds left now. And we'll end the first at 2-1.
So Broken Arrow's taken down. This will put Kaler on top. Caution. Little moving on bottom.
Quick to move. Got to wait on the whistle. We saw that a few times last week. Ponca City and Union both wanting quick
There's
to get
the
out.
escape. It's 2-2.
Knotted up, and Hill there with a little grimace as he got back to his feet. So dehydration, kind of a big deal. You alluded to it earlier.
It can be.
More so than other sports, just because kids are trying to cut weight off.
Right. And a lot of times they'll dehydrate, and you know, as coaches, we didn't want them to do it like that. But that can lead to cramping and stuff like that.
And there's Hill asking for a little assistance over there.
Right.
Coach Jefferson's going to come out and talk to Kaler. Give him some pointers on what's going right, what's going wrong. We hope that Dayton Hill's
Hill
all right.
keeps getting that underhook, and we're overhooking. I always like being on the underhook. Now, there's moves you can work with that overhook.
Is that a matter of control from your standpoint?
Well,
obviously, it's going to be.
I just like being inside for me, but I know people that take that and
on the outside
and score a lot of points, and probably scored a lot of points on me back in the day.
That was not more than 10 years ago.
Just a few.
Got it. We'll leave it at that.
I was a walk-on at the University of Central Oklahoma, and I think I had about every single move you could have worked on me. So I've been there.
There it is.
I've been there.
There it is. As we're back with a minute and 30.
The only time in my life I've been flexible.
We'll leave that conversation for another time, Coach. Now back on it. Hill, no matter what, hurting him, showing some real fight for Coach Jones.
There it is. Here's a chance for a takedown and some back points for Kaler. He's getting them. Maybe he could get a pin right here. He's going to get some back points. He gets a 5-point move right there. 2-point takedown, 3-point near fall.
Got a little blood now coming.
Yeah, got that bloody nose. Sometimes those are hard to stop. Back when Kyle Crutchmer's here one time, they finally just had to tape his nose all around his head, just wrap it around. He had to breathe through his mouth to keep him from bleeding, because you only get so much time, and if you're still bleeding after that amount of time, you have to forfeit the match. So he was getting close to out of time, so they just took that tape. His dad, Kevin, the coach, just wrapped it around his head,
and that was it,
and kept him from bleeding, and he won the match.
Oh,
but
wow.
He was pretty miserable.
Right, I bet he was pretty miserable. That was a number of years ago. Have the rules changed? No. If you could stop it bleeding, no matter what it takes,
right? You get 5 minutes total of blood, what they call blood time.
And that's what the official was looking at for his watch. Got it. Now they're going to do a little maintenance here and clean some blood up. The one, the only Dan Newman out there.
I'm looking at our table. I don't know if they're keeping track of the blood time or not. Now, once they get ready to go, the cleanup doesn't count against them.
Right. And I think that's what the coach was saying. That's what Coach Jones came over and said, hey, we're ready to go. Cleanup time doesn't make it up. Makes a lot of sense. as the crews work on all the blood. Get it all squared away here. It's Gavin on top of Dayton
That's a
Hill.
nice 5-point move right there on the edge of the mat. I thought he might even get a pin there for a little bit, but Hill fought it off. And one thing with the blood time, he's getting a little recovery time here.
That's got to be beneficial. Now, that's going to be something that obviously plays into Hill. It's almost like an extended timeout. He gets to rest whatever was hurting him earlier, the blood, the whole 9 yards. Got it. So we're cleaned up, and it looks like we're ready to come back to it. Kaler gets on top, and he'll go right to work. Definitely working on whatever was working for him before.
Gets the escape by Hill. Makes it 7-3. Single leg attempt here by Hill. Good counter by Kaler.
That's really a good job by Kaler to get away from that.
Right, that was a good counter.
Kaler can hang on for another 19, 18 seconds here. He'll take the lead into the third. About 5 seconds in, ref warning him not to get out of bounds.
Trip again.
They're going to come crashing into us if they're not careful.
Be careful with that inside trip while you got the lead. You don't want to trip yourself to your back, and that's what he did. I think he thought about it, and then he pulled off on it. Now, that'll be Kaler's choice, and he's taken down.
Coach Jefferson is telling him to hurry. Is there a reason for that?
Well, yeah, because he feels like they're in the better condition in this match, and
he wants to work.
We don't want him to have any more rest time, although they're still on blood time, not timeout.
Right. Now, and that's what I was going to ask you. Is there such thing as a timeout by a coach?
There is, but there's supposed to be injury time. But there are timeouts, and you only get one, though.
Well, we are in the 170 weight class. Dayton Hill for Broken Arrow. Gavin Kaler for Union. And Kaler's on top 7-3 as we get ready to start the third period after a little maintenance on the ref. A little confused. Kaler will be down. Hill on top here.
Usually really good at exploding out on bottom. See, good first move right there. That's always important. You got to try to get a little more hand control on the way up, but it's a good first move. And there's that escape right there. Makes it 8-3 with 1:45.
Gavin fighting hard right now. Try to get some legs, try to get underneath. And there's going to be a takedown there. Nope, it's going to be off the mat. Off the mat.
Almost had it right there.
But no points awarded.
No, that's a good scramble right there.
So just because he gets you to the mat doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get points awarded.
Right, you got to have control. Trying that inside trip again.
Yep. They're going to spin around a little bit here.
That inside trip's a great move. I get a little nervous sometimes because you could go to your own back too, but Gavin seems to be in control of that move and knowing when to go through with it and not to go through with it.
48 seconds now remaining here in the third. No such thing as hanging on, though, right? You're only up 8-3. That's not a lot. So you're looking to put him away at this point. Nice move there. They're going to be off the mat. 31 seconds now remaining here in the third. Gavin Kaler sucking some wind. Dayton Hill showing some great great. So they'll start back up on top.
Down to 25
Endurance,
seconds.
thank you very much. Endurance, I was trying to think of a number of different things to talk about this Hill kid. Endurance, just grit. Just grit. Bloody nose, sore, still in there wrestling hard for Coach Jones.
Whoa, then Kaler
Nothing
doing
too
a
far
good
off
job keeping his balance. They're down to 8 seconds left.
8 here. Gavin's going to attempt to hang on here for 5-4. He's going to pull off, but great grit
And
there
a good
by
win.
Hill.
Good win for Gavin Kaler
Great
there.
Job for Gavin Kaler. Winner at 170 for Union, Gavin Kaler. And points there. Kaler with a great job there. What do we got going on
We
here?
got Jake Heber.
So Jake's going to come in and wrestle Soto.
Right.
At 182 for Broken Arrow, Ram Soto. And for Union, Jake Heber. As the crowd goes wild for Jake. Jake Heber. And Ram
Soto with the takedown right there.
Two nothing Soto on top of Heber, excuse me.
Soto in on another takedown there, makes it 4-1. Heber trying to fight that off.
Was twisted and turning and trying to get out from underneath that. Soto seems to got him good now. Heber showing some great grit. The word I was looking for earlier, and there's
the pin. Soto with the pin.
Soto with the pin and making quick work into a minute and 11 seconds. At 182, your winner for Broken Arrow, Ram Soto. Quickly jump ahead to the 195 weight class and bring out for Broken Arrow, Eli Hines. And for Union, Krishan Mayberry. Mayberry and Hines here. And Mayberry was another freshman that we saw against Ponca City that just lights out. Wrestled really, really well. A lot of movement. Pretty quick. And for a freshman, showed a lot of fight.
Yeah. There's a takedown by Hines. Goes up 2-0.
And they're off the mat. We'll get a restart here. Mayberry will work quickly to try to get out from underneath the Hines grasp. Having some
he
problem
pulled him
there.
back.
Working to try to get out from underneath that now. There it is. Wow, quick pin there by Hines on Mayberry. At 195, your winner for Broken Arrow, Eli Hines.
I think that's one of those matches where the experience really showed there. Mayberry gave a great effort on it. It's just you got a junior against a freshman.
Here we're going to get to see finally a senior in Tristan Wolfer, and I've known this young man for a long time, and great kid, great work ethic. I know he played a little bit of football as well, and comes from a great family background. So we'll see what
He's got
come
a
up
tough
against
match
with
here
Skillings.
with Skillings, two-time state champ, ranked number 1 in the state at his weight.
And quickly, Wolfer on top of Skillings, 1-0.
Well,
I take that back. It's now 4-1.
4-1 Skillings. Wolfer fighting hard, though.
Yeah.
Always gives that great effort.
Right. That's what we've heard out of him
Yeah,
for a long
great
time.
young man. And Skillings has got him in a tough spot right here.
And a two-time champion, there he is.
Two-time state champion, one of the top wrestlers in the country at that weight. And I admire Tristan for just getting out there and giving it a go.
At 220, your winner from Broken Arrow, Emmanuel Skillings. And now we get into the 285 weight, and Malachi Clark and Ellis Tomlin, and we quickly talked about Elijah Tomlin earlier.
Yeah.
Great kid here that spent some time, and now a UCO young man playing some football at 285 from Broken Arrow.
And then their
Ellis Tomlin.
Their older brother was
Union, Malachi Clark. And their other brother, go ahead, Steve.
He was heavyweight football and good football player and a heavyweight wrestler for us. Just missed being in the state finals at the state tournament when he was a senior.
That Tomlin group's quite the athletic bunch, that's for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Couple of heavyweights going after it. Is there any difference? I know I hate to say wrestling's wrestling because I don't think it is. Because is there different skills or different things that you teach at 285 between
heavyweight's
106?
a different style. I mean, you aren't going to see them shoot a takedown very often unless they're just really good at it, because I got all that weight coming down on them. So it's a different match. It's really a whole different style of wrestling, like you say.
I thought so.
More pushing, more shoving, which wears you out a lot more than you would think.
Well, and pushing around that kind of weight.
Oh,
it's going to wear you out in the first place.
Absolutely.
And then pushing your weight around and somebody else's that's that same
right.
weight. Tomlin here off the mat. Looks like Clark's going to try to push him off, and they will, and we'll get a restart. Nothing with about 40 seconds left, and this is one of the first stalemates and the only stalemate that we've seen all night, really.
Hadn't had very many.
Clark and Tomlin really haven't even been on the mat in this first minute and a half or so. When you're grabbing the head, what are you looking for there, Steve?
Well, he's trying to, like you said, pull his head down where maybe he can go around him. That'd be the main thing. You want to try to pull that head down and then try to either work a move right there, mainly get around behind him. We used to work our heavyweights out, have two guys pushing on them, where they were used to this. Because like I said, that's taking a lot more energy than people think unless they've done it before.
Absolutely. So here, after 1-0-0, stalemate, a couple of guys that really haven't even been on the mat. And the only time that they were close to being on the mat was when they got close to the bench and had to have a restart.
Well, like I said, those heavyweights usually aren't going to be shooting that single leg or double leg takedown because they'd have all that weight coming down on them. And it makes it hard to move.
Absolutely.
Now, did Clark get a pin against Ponca City that actually tied the match?
So Clark got the pin against Ponca City that tied the match at, I believe it was 39-all, and then that's when we had to go to the criteria, I think is what that's called.
10th criteria.
Yes, it went to J, which was news to me, and, of course, the great Darren McAfee was kind of walking us through the whole thing, and I mean, goodness, there was calculators out, and we were all kinds of things. I was scared to death. I was like, oh, my goodness, what are we doing here? Yep. Looks like Tomlin's a little slow to get up there. Coach Jones out looking. He's working hard. If I know a Tomlin, I know there's no quitting those boys.
Oh, no.
Not at all. Clark in a good position here. Still knotted at 0 with about 1:30 left here in the second.
He's got to get his hips up a little higher than that right there. There he goes. That's a much better position. You don't want his hips to slide underneath the other guy. He'll just step over you.
So it looks like he's trying to wrap his leg up, too, so there's no way for him to go.
We're closing into 1 minute here, halfway through this match. 1 minute left in the second period.
Clark showing some great fight.
Still
so
on
is
top.
Tomlin for that matter.
Tomlin's trying to keep that base. Now coming to his feet, and Clark gets him back down.
Not going to let him up is Clark. So we got about 45 seconds.
Here comes Tomlin, and Tomlin with the escape. Goes up 1-0.
Tomlin with the escape there. Steve told you it's 1-0. And we'll get back into this headlock action with about 30 seconds. Coach Money barking some orders. Coach Jefferson looking on.
Yeah, Coach Money's in the stance over there.
He is in the stance. Looks like he could jump in here and do it any time. 6-5. We're going to stay at 1-0 here as we get ready for the third period. Tomlin looks like he's a little disgusted on his face, but Clark looks like feels like he's in control, for sure. Clark's good to go. Tomlin takes an extra breath before he gets out on the floor. Whistle blows and we're going. 1-0, Tomlin on top. Very reminiscent of what happened against Pocket City last week for sure.
Tomlin's doing a good job of keeping his hips on top here. Clark's got to start moving.
Clark attempts to stand up there. Quickly back to his knees. Now, is there a little more stall time allowed with these big guys than there is at say, a 106 or a 1?
Oh, probably so, because it's just a different style, like you said, a different style of wrestling. Clark to his feet.
Yep. Walks into the middle.
And there's the escape.
There's the escape.
1-1.
So knotted at 1.
Could we have our first overtime match?
That would be awesome.
We could. Have you seen an overtime match
No, I have yet
yet?
To see an overtime match.
Why
not?
It can be pretty exciting.
Second time on the air, why not? Let's do overtime as well. No, I think Clark's got something special here planned out.
Oh, he's trying to trip him right there, but good counter by Tomlin. That move started out good, but it wasn't finishing good. Tomlin had a good counter there.
That's going to be way off the mat.
And we've got a warning for stalling and a point for Clark. So Clark goes up 2-1.
Point going to be awarded to Clark. Coach is going to come over. Coach Jones is going to come over and have a little conversation. What's the conversation he's having?
Well, he warned him for that stalling, and that was a point. And he's probably asking what was he doing to earn that point. You know, they're both just pushing and shoving, but he was doing a little bit more.
So he's coming over and fighting for it. Point to Clark, as we mentioned. You know, I've talked to a ref a lot of different times in my career, whether it was hockey or what little baseball. When I talked with the umpires, I never got them to change their mind.
Right.
You know.
One time in my whole career, and after that he told me he would never change his mind again, but he'd actually made a wrong call. He changed it to the right call.
There you go.
Even the other coach didn't complain.
About 20 seconds now remaining here.
Uh-oh, grabbing headgear. That's going to be a point.
Be a point awarded.
Yeah, you can't grab the headgear like that. And Tomlin's just trying to make something happen, but he got a hold of the headgear there.
Clark keeping his composure. Good job by the sophomore here for Union. He's up 3-1, and he can hang on for another 10 seconds. He'll win another one. Great job there, and it's over.
And a hard fought match.
Hard fought by Tomlin and Clark both. Tomlin not happily with himself, but two big heavyweights going after each other, and that's a beautiful job there.
Well, like I said, that pushing and shoving, sometimes people don't think how
winner at 285.
Tough that can be, but it is.
The sophomore for Union, Malachi Clark. So here we have it. What we kind of expected. And
right.
Nothing against Coach Jefferson and everything that he's doing for sure, but Broken Arrow sure got a powerhouse. It's still sure got something to be proud of over there.
They're not only one of the top teams in the state, they're one of the top teams in the country. and they're battling for another state championship this year. But you see Union each year just trying to get closer, and
you can see it with the individual matches for sure.
Right,
Who's
absolutely.
shining? You bet. So our next broadcast, here on the Union Sports Network, comes to you guys next Tuesday as Union basketball returns with Sapulpa coming to town. The girls tip at 6:30, the boys at 8. That broadcast starting at 6:30 again. That's next Tuesday, the 19th. So for this guy, Steve Dunlap, thanks for joining us. Steve,
Thank you.
Andy Irwin, Nick Irwin, and Ethan Hayes, our other cameraman. I'm Jim Douthit. Thanks for joining us on the Union Sports Network. Have a pleasant tomorrow, everybody. Good night.